Chemtrails, protocols of geoengineering. We are facing a worldwide crisis. In fact, it's already in motion, and it's been in motion on a significant scale for over 65 years, and has roots back as early as the 1830s, with verifiable proof of a man-made deluge back in 1915 that destroyed much of San Diego, California. One man, Charles Hatfield, was a reputed rainmaker who modified and manipulated the climate by evaporating his secret chemical brew atop various wooden towers, produced this event. His solution worked so well that it rained for 17 days straight, bringing 2.5 feet of water along with it. In those days, San Diego was experiencing a prolonged drought, which was the initial problem, but the side effects of the deluge were perhaps equally devastating. The water washed out much of the area's infrastructure, destroying over 100 bridges, tearing apart roads, homes, and communication lines, and killing dozens of people, to say the least. That happened way back in 1915. So if you tack on a century worth of progress and extrapolate that with the current scope of the climate engineering that is worldwide today, you get a very sobering, precursory warning of the devastating results of such weather interactions. No good can come from this, and so far, none has. Unless destruction is what you want, in that regard, it's a complete success. This type of manipulation has evolved and improved over the past 100 years, and it continues to this day. Many people simply know this subject as what conspiracy theorists call chemtrails, which has been largely considered a tinfoil hat subject to be ridiculed by mainstream opponents. Geoengineering, otherwise known as climate engineering, weather manipulation, stratospheric aerosol injection, stratospheric Welsbach seeding, solar radiation management, and a host of other cleverly deceptive scientific terms are used to officially reference these weather manipulating practices without calling too much of the public's attention. So what's going on here? Let's start with the reason most of you are probably here: chemtrails. As observed from the ground looking up, chemtrails appear to be the plane's exhaust plumes that cover the sky, which usually linger around for hours and evolve into man-made clouds. Deliberately coined as conspiracy theories, and anyone talking about and researching the subject is led into a dead end of useless theories and misinformation, mostly propagated by shills, conspiracy fanatics, and other unreliable sources. Those who do have the courage to speak out about it usually are discredited and blackballed, and are sometimes even killed to shut them up. All this sends a pretty clear message for anyone who might openly talk about this subject. There will be consequences. Many skeptics write chemtrails off as simply being innocuous contrails, which are persistent condensation trails that a plane's engines is said to produce. Further adding to this is how the plane's wings disrupt the air and other naturally occurring plane science, blah blah blah, which are thinly veiled and unscientific explanations. But there is nothing benign about chemtrails. The truth is, no modern plane permitted to fly will ever consistently produce contrails that stay in the air for more than a few minutes, let alone a few hours. And they certainly cannot blanket the sky with crisscross patterned condensation clouds or whatever. In fact, the high bypass turbine engines of all legally registered commercial airplanes in operation today have been specifically designed to be incapable of creating condensation trails under most circumstances, as about 80% of the air that passes through the turbine is non-combustible. This design aspect alone effectively eliminates anyone's claims that such plumes are even capable of existing outside of a few seconds. What these chemtrails really are is manufactured nanoparticulate aerosols of heavy metals such as aluminum, barium, and strontium, all of which cause serious neurological effects on the brain when entered into the blood system. Each of these elements on their own can have devastating effects, but the truly exponential danger comes from the synergistic effects these elements have when combined. which can increase the potency thousands of times over. These elements are being sprayed into our air supply often, so we are constantly breathing them in, slowly increasing the toxicity levels in our bodies while steadily decreasing our health. This is creating an epidemic of worldwide health problems that includes asthma, Alzheimer's, autism, and other debilitating illnesses. The tragedy here is that since the governments are hiding this from the public, consequentially, environmental health agencies aren't testing for such elements in the water or air quality tests, nor so is it required. So people are getting sick for literally no reason. How can these sickened people ever hope to get better if they don't even know the cause of their ailments? They can't. But that's the sinister point of geoengineering. What is happening is a systemic weakening and overall dumbing of the human race. Chemtrails are just one method of climate manipulation. Of whichever name you call it, it's all part of geoengineering. Geoengineering is a weapon against all of humanity and inevitably the rest of organic life worldwide. It doesn't matter what the agenda is. The fact that the population is unaware of these activities and has never approved such tamperings renders all of these programs to be criminal. Now, I want to submit for those of you who require hard evidence, here are just a few US issued patents that clearly describe some of the inventions, methods, and chemicals created to carry out this agenda. Outlined in each of these patents are the device's working parts, how it functions, as well as its primary purpose and other key components. The primary purpose falls under geoengineering and weather manipulation. The fact that these official documents exist and are public domain make it hard to further deny that these contrails are not in fact deliberate. To further prove that climate manipulation is in action on a grand scale, we can focus on mountains of government-issued documents and reports that clearly outline the objectives and agendas, citing research, certified lab tests, and other official evidence, most of which is freely available to the public. Review of just a few such documents alone should be more than enough information to change any skeptic's mind. But again, there are literally thousands of pages of data that prove what many prefer to deny. Geoengineering is a fact. These airdropped aerosols are a fact. None of this is speculation. There can be no refuting this damaging evidence because it is just that, evidence. Those who continue to deny this and who even have the audacity to ridicule those of us who research the truth are naive, arrogant, and play a negative role in humanity's future existence. It's that simple. Now's your chance to wake up. Okay, so weather modification is as real as it gets. There must be a reasonable explanation for this. Well, to the critics, scientists, military personnel, politicians, and anyone else that is helping this agenda unintentionally, there is. They are, for the most part, duped just like the rest of us. They believe they are helping to offset the negative effects of global warming and other environmental afflictions. The story that they are told is 180 degrees in the opposite direction of what these actions are producing. What is happening to the environment as a result has put the Earth in danger, and with it, all organic inhabitants. All life on Earth is in danger. The devastation has already begun. Here are just a few of the life-threatening disruptions that are already taking place. Prevention of the Earth's natural compensation methods, disruption of Earth's eco-patterns, making them unknown and untrackable, unnatural temperature disruptions and deviations, environmental CO2 levels increasing, methane increasing to catastrophic levels. Warmer Arctic waters are melting frozen methane deposits, which is releasing even more methane. This alone could cause massive extinction level events that can destroy all organic life on Earth many times over. Deviations to upper level wind currents, altered ocean currents, alterations to the atmosphere, increased nighttime temperatures, insect populations decreasing, more animal species are becoming extinct, crisis level aluminum pollution worldwide, climate change worldwide, weather patterns are irreversibly disrupted, tectonic damage, biological systems are damaged and functioning below necessary capacity, crisis level impact to human health, crisis-level impact on overall Earth environment, rising cases of neurological and mental health consequences, increased respiratory infections, extreme and unnatural weather effects, and there are plenty more. All of these ailments are just some of the known repercussions, and the list continues indefinitely as geoengineering persists. But these are just side effects. The true purpose isn't to combat global warming, nor is it to reflect solar radiation, as they would have us to believe. The Arctic ice reflects about 80% of solar radiation and the sun's thermal energy already. There wouldn't be any man-made solution that is nearly as effective. The agenda behind this program has no intentions on using geoengineering for the good of the people. Rather, it has and continues to use it for militaristic purposes. With weather control, the powers that be can influence any country or opposing government with godlike impunity, causing catastrophic weather and disaster damage at will. This is power and control at its most dangerous. If geoengineering continues to be looked at as a conspiracy, then those who might have the power to stop this will likely not take action. But if we come together and unite to boycott these criminal acts, we can stop these programs from inflicting more harm and destruction. We can then work to undo the damage, restore our health, and remove these psychopathic criminals from power. I hope this introduction sparks your awakening. It is imperative that we move quickly so this movement can reach critical mass before it's too late and geoengineering governments inflict irreparable damage. Please check out the links provided, share this, and help get the word out. Like and subscribe and join the good fight. Love and liberation for all.